Hello YouTube. So today I want to talk about Zenless Zone Zero, but I also want to talk about how I make content for the video game journal and where we are going. So the idea for today was covering the live special program for Zenless Zone Zero patch 1.5 because it's the news of today, right? But then I realized that many people were already doing that, and even AI voice videos were doing that, and in the end it felt very empty and I wasn't happy about it. I finished the video, by the way, it's on YouTube on private, but I don't feel like publishing it. I have been working on it, talking about the patch and everything there is to know about it, events and such, but it's not really what I want to cover for the game. It felt very bad. So for today I will instead talk about how I feel about the patch instead of explaining how it works. I will explain how it works in an article on the video game journal, but I want to share the feelings that comes from this new version of the game. So let's start watching this together and then we'll be talking about how I feel about it, because feelings is the core of the channel. Let's start watching this together and commenting it.
Welcome to the Starry Path, my esteemed guests, or should I say, Faithin.
Please, make Fairy help me score those tickets. They're nearly impossible to get.
What's the theme for your New Year's concert going to be? A tribute to Mr. De Winter?
The theme, probably something like the astronomical moment. As we enter the new year, I hope everyone will be able to grasp their own moments of happiness.
So there's no doubt of the fact that this feels very street. It's not a very street fantasy though. I don't think this character is fantasy. I think this character is more realistic than many other characters I have been seeing recently. We have a realistic singer that is about to make a concert. It's a little bit weird, and I think the entire faction is very realistic. Let's go ahead.
Let's make a grand entrance.
The combat, of course, is not realistic because you have all those glitter effects and the magic and whatever. But regardless of that, the character is realistic. The problems are realistic. She is hated by some people for some reason. We'll find out in the main story that you can see inside the trailer. But yeah, we are talking about a girl that sings and wants to be loved and is hated by some, right? These are not a fantasy game problems. It's more of a slice of life story problems. So the one you can see here, I think, is the skin, the new outfit. I really like it. I like it more than the stage outfit because it is more cute in a way.
We're really that simple.
Today, we're gonna show everyone.
So yeah, there's this group that really hates the idol, that is Astra, and stuff happens and they fight together.
Is the present, but fighting for you?
But yeah, the design, even Evelyn that uses this kind of string, feels like a very realistic, focused character. Plus, I will tell you something, I am very tired of a character that has very big breasts. Please stop, it's just an archetype, use other archetypes. It's omnipresent in Zenless Zone Zero's new characters, and I am very tired of it, because it's not natural, and I understand you can make some characters like that for fanservice reasons, or just for archetype reasons, but why is that a thing for almost all the characters we are getting? I hope they really stop with that, because for instance, Honkai Star Rail has success without leveraging on something like that every time. You can do that once, twice, maybe 3 times, not in a row, but why are you doing this so many times? Besides, I really like the design of Evelyn as a character. She's like the cool manager that also understands what is important for her, and Astra, she's kind. You can tell that from the story we already played, so I'm not complaining about the character. But when it comes to the design of certain things, I am a little bit annoyed. And by the way, this is what is keeping a lot of players away from Zenless on Zero. There are players that don't play because they think there's too much fan service. So don't think that fan service is a universal solution. I think Zenless on Zero is an incredible game. It doesn't really need fan service to survive. So it downgrades it a little bit. If it is fan service from fan service. If it is for other reasons, that's completely fine. But fan service for fan service, I am not a fan.
Nothing slips through my defenses.
Every era needs its own songstress. People place all of their hopes in her, and she must bring them hope. Open the curtain, so hearts have no more divides. Let everybody's voice be heard.
Okay, this part I like a lot because you can see the other factions interacting with a New Year event, which is the concert, and it feels very immersive in the world you have around, right? The thing I don't understand is why are we having a New Year event so late? It's too late. New Year is done. Is New Year in China right now? And like the lantern rite? Probably, because I don't understand why we're doing this now. Please tell me in the comments, because yeah, of course it's not a new year for the Western people. Okay, here you can see the skins of the characters. So they decide to introduce skins with this patch. The one from for Nicole, the Gyaru one, is for free, while the S-rank ones are paid and on a discount at the beginning. And I think Ellen's one is something people expect. It's nothing special, but at the same time, having something you can vary on your main DPS on an aesthetic level is pretty good. It really depends on how much they are gonna cost, because I have no idea, we'll see. This sums up most of the patch content. If you like, the trailer is really good and at encompassing all the content. The Stars of Lyra feel too realistic for a game that is very over the top, right? There are a lot of factions like Bellowbog Heavy Industries, which is basically studio triggers. They want to be really intense in the way they express fights and emotions. You have Victoria Housekeeping that is still over the top on a more, let's say, spooky way, but I love them as well so much. And then you have this faction that really feels more of a real life duo that comes into this world. It doesn't feel off, but it doesn't feel incredible. The design of the character is nothing bad, so in the end, I don't dislike them. I am just a little bit, let's say, not too happy to spend my hard-earned polychromes for those characters that I won't skip, because I want to try having all the characters in Zenless on Zero, I think. So yeah, so the code you can use this to get the 300 polychromes. I will add the code in the description. But it's not the point of this video. The point of this video is talking about the feelings around the patch. And the feelings around the patch are all around the new characters mostly, right? And I don't know, maybe it's an archetype that many people will like, because people may like slice of life problems that come from reality. I just think that Zenless on Zero's focus is not really this. Zenless on Zero is not really a slice of life street game. It is more of a fantasy, over-the-top street game with Eastern traits, which I'm gonna miss for this faction. It feels, I don't know, it feels like coming from a different game. That said, the animation kit for the two characters is okay. I would say it's good. I prefer Astra's kit when it comes to animation, because having a microphone, she plants the microphone on the battlefield and then she dodges by basically disappearing. Plus, she can be used in any team. She can be used in the Miyabi team, she can be used in the Fire team with Evelyn. She's a more precious character when it comes to return of on the character on the long term. Evelyn is a main DPS Fire character that basically replaces Soldier 11, which means Soldier 11 is a decent alternative, even if she doesn't deal enough like comparable damage. But you can continue having more copies of Soldier 11 from the standard banner when it happens, and I think in the end M6 Soldier 11 is comparable to M0 Evelyn, right? But yeah, of course, then the style is different. You use strings. If you like the string combat, it's probably your thing. We'll see this from the character trials because it's very hard to say from videos. Then, when it comes to skins, which is the other feeling-oriented thing about the patch, I like them. I don't think they are too flashy, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I honestly would have given the Ellen skin for free because I don't think there's too much work in a school outfit. It's very simple. While the Astra Yao feels more refined, I think there's more work on the Astra Yao outfit. Plus, looks very good. But I am happy for the Nicole free outfit because it's not a main character for me. And besides it's a 4-star, I think it's a very good idea to have it for free to make people try skins and whatnot. So it's very welcome. When it comes to the amount of pulls and content the patch will give, we have a lot of minigames, events, and I think this will keep players engaged. I like this idea, plus they are trying to streamline many things. For instance, the boss mods will only feature boss fights and not waves of enemies that just get cleared in 1 second. So that wasn't really useful. And they're trying to streamline the experience that comes from the interface in builds. There's no auto combat and no gear sets for now, which is surprising, but having better things around the builds where you can choose your own discs for your characters, the max level you want to achieve with a character will allow us to use the build tool much better. I think it's a tool that many games would benefit having. So that makes me feel very good about it. It is a thing that we use every day. The build tool is a thing we end up, especially if we love character management, let's say, it's something we end up using a lot. So that's something I'm very happy they decided to change in a way that's better. This is just my take, but I'm very curious about yours. So do you like Astra Yao? Do you like Evelyn? Are those characters that you are looking forward to? And are you gonna pull for them? Are you gonna be happy to have them in your fire team when it comes to Evelyn, or basically any team when it comes to Astra? If you disagree with me, I'll be happy to hear a different perspective, because this is just Nero Atlas talking about the patch. Please feel free to check out thevideogamejournal.com, where I will be publishing an article that will sum up the things that this patch will change as in a guide to the patch. So in brief, which are the banners, the characters, the skins, the new events, and the game-changing things, if I don't find anything on the web that can actually help you better than a guide that I make. Because if there's something that is already there, I will just redirect you there. And I will add it to the article where this video will appear on the website. So this is Nero Atlas and the cat talking about patch 1.5 in a different way than the one I expected. I wanted to pass through the video and review everything in a very linear way, but then I realized, no, I want to talk about my feelings of the patch. That's the real thing. That's the thing that will, in a way, change our experience more than actual, I don't know, polychrome numbers or even gameplay stuff. What's the feeling about the patch and the game? I think the patch will just be a part of the game. It won't make it or break it. I think the real thing is coming up after this patch. If you're looking for a very good support, Astra Yao is for you. She will help a lot of teams in a very easy way. And if you're looking for a fire main DPS because you don't have a Soldier 11, or because you're looking for the last most strong character, or if you like string fights, I think Evelyn is definitely for you. I would 100% going for her. This is Nero Atlas saying goodbye and logging in.